Good morning, YouTube, Facebook, whoever see this video. This is Chandler coming from Classic Care Services. I'm getting ready to head out, pull away from my office, and get my day started. It's a great day. We got some good sunlight today, but much colder. It was almost 80 degrees yesterday, and now it's 50-something degrees the very next day. Today is the February the 8th at 8:57 a.m. 51 degrees, and got a busy day today. Got 4 stops, plus my wife is taking me to a comedy show tonight, so I got to try to be back home by 7, which is always a challenge. So we're going to work on that, hard on that today. But the subject today that I want to talk about, I want to share something real quick, and this is just off to what's on the inside, not scripted. But what in your life, or what in my life, that I have accomplished on purpose? On purpose. What have I accomplished on purpose? What in my life have I accomplished on purpose? So we'll talk about that for 5 or 10 minutes, and maybe this will help somebody get focused, help someone in their own personal life, and I share some of my experiences. But I gotta do this while I'm driving, as I share with you guys while I'm moving and typically driving to work. Now I'm coming from Godzilla. So what I mean by that, a lot of times, let's talk about the opposite side of things that are purposeful, things that are on purpose. I got my GPSs. I got my GPSs up, guys, so you'll hear that. But something that's we'll brag about. Most of us will brag about what we have done on accident. You might have accomplished some things because of the environment that you was in, because
continue
of what
1/4 mile to the end of the street, then turn left.
Because of what your parents have done, what you was exposed to, what educational level you was able to get or not able to get, whether you were...
Turn left on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Southwest, then take the first right.
Or whether you were financially independent or not. Maybe you're financially dependent on someone. All these things affect what we accomplish in life, or it affects what environment we are thrusted into. Sometimes we are thrusted in an environment that we have not purposed to be in that environment. We have not set goals to be in that environment. Some people grow up in an abusive environment. Some people end up in an abusive relationship.
Industrial Boulevard Southwest.
And they may have done a wonderful job to overcome those circumstances and situations in that relationship, or setting goals to get out of that relationship, but that was not done on purpose. That was by accident. Let me give you my own personal example. I'm gonna keep this about Classic Care Services. Classic Care Services
in 2 miles,
was established
turn right
and
on
accomplished
Donald McCallowell Parkway Northwest.
Where it is today started off accidentally, but my intentions was on purpose. So when I got out of college, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But the cleaning industry, and carpet cleaning specifically, is a low-cost business to get into. So because of my financial situation, my opportunities that was before me, or the lack of, I was thrusted in this area of cleaning. Also, my family had some restaurants, but they was in janitorial business. Okay, my immediate family, meaning my father, was in the janitorial business, as some other businesses, but he had been in the cleaning industry for like 15 years. So again, my environment. I didn't wake up. I didn't tell my dad what to do, but I was just exposed to what decision that he had made, and that influenced my life, influenced my decisions, and that's accidental. That's not on purpose. That just so happened that I was in that circumstance and situation. Now, this is not talk about faith and on a spiritual level. That would be slightly different, and that would be just a different approach and understanding overall. But this is just some of the basic things that we walk in each and every day. But I want you to look at these things, like looking at my life,
turn right,
and looking at the decisions I've made, and looking at the decisions that I'm going to make,
take the second left.
and what I'm going to do today versus what I did yesterday. I look at the little things, I look at the daily things, I look at what I'm doing right now. And so going back to things that were accomplished accidentally. So I was in the cleaning business, but I wanted to be an entrepreneur on purpose. So I ended up in the cleaning business. I didn't grow up, I didn't go to college to go into the cleaning business, but I ended up in the cleaning business. That's accidental.
Then take the
So a
second
lot of
left.
accomplishments that I had up to a certain point in my business was basically accidental. I just worked hard. You know, I did some things that you're supposed to do. I did some things that you shouldn't do. I learned from my mistakes, and I grew from that. But one day I woke up, well, was beginning to wake up. It's, you know, you can have an awakening in your life where you consciously wake up. So let me give you the thing, when you consciously wake up, and then I begin to set goals that were on the purposeful goals. But let me give you, before I talk about that process, let me give you what things I accomplished. So some simple things that I've accomplished that was on purpose. So I'm in the cleaning business, right? So that's accidental. But some of the things that I accomplished in the last, let's say, 3 to 4 years, this was on purpose. So I consciously said, I want to flip my resume. My resume before was commercial, 80% commercial. I say it's between 75 to 80% commercial, and the rest was residential. So I woke up one day, and that's kind of oversimplified it, but I woke up one day and I made a decision that I wanted to flip my resume. Okay? I wanted to be more on the residential than commercial. That's what I wanted to do. And so from that walk on, I began to envision how I wanted my business to look like. Okay? So once I made that decision, that was before the first marketing, that was before the first new residential client, that was before Godzilla, that was before my office, that was even before my wife, that was before many, many things that I'm living and walking in now. But it started with that decision. So once I made that decision, then my actions, my steps, my desires all started to get in line with that decision that I made. Those steps and my actions and my thoughts got to get in line to accomplish those things. And many of you guys have heard that before. But that decision was on purpose. So therefore, when I envisioned having an office and a warehouse and a shop and cleaning fabrics at my shop and cleaning high-end fabrics in homes and carpets and tile and grout and get the type of customer that I envisioned, that started with a decision. That was on purpose. And so now I have an office and I'm functioning out of that because that was a purposeful decision that I made, a desire that I had. But when you make a purposeful decision, it affects your desires. Your desires will change. So then in my business that I was got in accidentally, now I'm making it more purposeful because of the purposeful decision that I'm making within the business that I'm in. Hopefully you guys understand that. Hopefully I've made that clear. So in one specific example, I gave you that specific example about making a decision. But one specific example, also that decision was, when I made a decision to switch to residential, I accomplished that within 3 years. Okay? So time and patience and investment in myself flipped it in 3 years. Now, one specific example of, I've had many trucks, truck mounts, vans. I've had multiple at the same time. But I went, I'm gonna give you a purposeful desire. This is with equipment. Specifically this truck. This is like my dream truck. So I go to, all my other trucks, I got it because either I could afford it, it was available, or both. My last truck, I did outfit that truck the way I desired, the way I saw it at that time, but I knew it wasn't my dream truck. So I go to the experience in St. Petersburg, Florida. No, it was Clearwater. I go to Clearwater, Florida. And one of the reasons I went to Clearwater, Florida was to network and to grow and to experience. I'd never been to an experience before, but I also knew that this truck would be there. I first seen this truck on YouTube. So it sparked something in me. So I go to Florida and I see the truck. I walk around it. I look inside of it. I even stepped in the back. And at that moment, when I walked around the truck, and at that moment, I said, I don't know how I'm gonna get it. I don't have the money. Hell, I don't even know if I have the credit. If I need to finance it. So right then you're saying I need the money to buy it, or I need the credit to get it, or both, a little bit of both. However you decide to get your equipment, that runs in my mind, in my business. But with all that turning in you, one thing superseded that is that I made a decision at that moment when I walked around the truck that this was gonna be my truck. That this was going to be my truck. So once I decided that this was going to be my truck, my thoughts changed, my motivations changed. I would drive my Chevy 3500 extended, which I loved, every day, but I envisioned myself in this truck. Because this truck is what I purposed for me to have, to do what I do out of this truck. This is the way I envision myself riding around my city and taking care of my clients and making a profit and enjoying my day out of this truck when I'm out in the field. That's what I set on purpose. All the other trucks I had were accidental. This happened because I could afford it. It was available. Again, it's not spiritual. I can say what was provided for me. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it was accidental. It wasn't on purpose. So that's an example in my life. I just want to share it with you guys that you can be whatever circumstance or situation that you're in, and you can have an awakening. You can have an awakening in your life and say, hey, from now on, I'm going to make purposeful decisions. What I do is going to be on purpose. Now, we all know in life some things happen to us that we can't control, or we find ourselves in situations. But in those situations and circumstances, we can make purposeful decisions to move in a direction or to accomplish what we need to accomplish, or gain what we need to gain outside of that circumstance and that situation. So, the question again, what in your life have you accomplished on purpose? Not the environment that you was in, not what you seen somebody else do, but what was that in you that no one else gave you, envisioned for you, or set the example for you, that you decided, that you saw, that was unique to you, and you set it, that goal, or you made a decision on purpose, and everything that you did from that point on went forward to accomplish it. That's the less percentage in my life. And I want to increase that in my life. And I have been the last 3 years working on increasing that. I want to flip that. I want my life to be more of a purposeful accomplishments versus the accidental accomplishments. Versus what was given to me. Versus what I grew up in. Versus what I just who I happen to hang out with. No, I want who I hang out with, who I talk to, who I sleep with, which is my beautiful wife. And that's another example. I am divorced, and my first wife, it was more accidental, and my second wife was more on purpose. So I can give you examples after example, but I want to flip my life to have more purposeful decisions and less accidental decisions, but more purposeful decisions and more purposeful accomplishments in my life. And that's why I want to move forward to. You guys have a wonderful and great day. Ask yourself, what have I accomplished on purpose? And what can I do today, right now, in this moment, to move towards those purposeful things that I would like to do, I like to see in my life. And you're going to have a wonderful and great day. Thanks for viewing, guys. Bye.